special episode of Political Roots. Tonight we are broadcasting from Indore, from the absolutely stunning campus of Delhi College, Indore. It's one of the oldest and most prestigious colleges of the country. It was set up by Sir Henry Daly in 1882. He was, of course, with the British Indian Army. On the program today, Political Roots, as you know, is about taking politicians back to their alma maters, because we believe that politicians, like everybody else, are shaped and formed by their college and their school years. So whatever you want to blame them for, should you be blaming or crediting their educational institutions? We also believe that Political Roots is extremely important because this is an election where the young voter will have a very critical voice. Look at the statistics. Between 18 and 19 years alone, there are 2.3 crore voters, and 47% of the electorate today is under the age of 35. So from Delhi College tonight, from Indore, let's bring the lights down now to introduce our guest on Political Roots this evening. At Indore's prestigious Delhi College, set up by Sir Henry Daly of the British Indian Army in 1882, they still talk about the student who hoisted the national flag when he was the youngest boy in grade 1. But little did they expect that this would be something Digvijaya would go on to do several times as an adult. Politics is certainly not what was forecast for the two-time Chief Minister and powerful General Secretary of the Congress.
But while in Delhi College, I never thought, nobody thought that he would go into politics, because he was stage shy there, I think so, because he would hardly take part in the debates or the extracurricular activities. But he was an excellent student and an excellent sportsman, a rare combination to have those days. He was an extraordinary player of squash during school days, and he had reached the first 4 in India as a squash player.
Today, Digvijaya Singh seems a bit of a prankster politician, often making provocative statements and then laughing, unmindful of the consequences. The origin of that naughtiness can be traced back to his school years, including the moment when he smoked his first cigarette.
We were given a special permission, 3-4 of us, to go and practice playing squash early in the morning, before the physical training time. PT, as we called it, was always there in the morning. And once 4 of us decided, let's see what cigarette tastes like. So somehow I managed a cigarette and a matchbox, and morning when we went there, we each had a puff of cigarette there. We carried a toothpaste, tube with us, so that we may know. And then we were jumping around, feeling as if we have done something special in life. And that was the first and the last puff I'm sure Digvijaya Singh took. The rest of us may have smoked for some time.
Born into the erstwhile royal family of Raghogar, Digvijaya began his life in politics as president of the Municipal Committee in 71 and then as Congress MLA in 1977. He has since revealed that he even had an offer from the Rajmata of Gwalior, Vijayaraje Scindia, to join the Jan Sangh, an offer he declined.
Did he put it on writing or not? Yes or no?
Using religion.
The communal riot that took place.
Today it is Digvijaya Singh who more often than not is locked in argument with the BJP, either in television studios or on Twitter. So who would believe that arguments were one thing he hated as a student?
He was excellent in sports, he was excellent in academics, and overall he was very sincere with his friends. One thing he never liked was fighting. He somehow could never tolerate anybody fighting. If anyone was fighting in the school, he would try and persuade them not to do that. He would get in between and say, please don't fight. That was his one nature. Second was, he was by and large, he was reserved. He was not that outgoing type or a, he was more, I wouldn't say he was an introvert, no. But yet he was very reserved. And he always sort of in school days had a little reservation towards dramatics and debate, which was quite surprising.
Surprising indeed, and funny too, when you consider Digvijaya Singh's own description of himself just recently.
We are all street smart politicians.
But you're not street fighters.
We are street
or you should not be street fighters.
We are street fighters.
On Political Roots tonight, taking Digvijaya Singh back to where it all began. So a student who hated fighting at Delhi College Indore went on to describe himself as a street fighter. The transformation of Digvijaya Singh. Let's have a round of applause to welcome our guest on Political Roots this evening. So some would joke saying, should we be blaming Delhi College for everything Digvijaya Singh became? No, more seriously, do you believe that as a politician you became someone dramatically different from what your friends describe you to be? An introvert, somebody who was not fond of fighting, somebody who was not fond of drama and debate? That's all you're doing these days on television.
First of all, Barkha, I must welcome you to my old school here.
It's a stunning campus,
yes,
so pleasure to be here.
And I've got such pleasant memories here. In fact, I was hardly 5 years when I was admitted in the boarding school. In the first term, when my mother and father came to pick me up, I just wouldn't go and meet them. But, you know, this kind of a training in the boarding school is that you learn to live by yourself. You become independent.
So it hardens you up for politics, is that what you're saying?
Well, let me tell you one thing. I was never interested in politics. In fact, I still consider myself as a non-political person.
How can you say that?
Well, I do. You may think otherwise. Because
then you needn't have joined one political party. You could have done something else.
Barkha, am one of those who stand by what I speak, what I say, what I commit. That's probably not one of the traits in politicians these days. But the fact remains that even I did my engineering from Indore here only. I don't remember voting in any college election.
Or standing for election.
No question, no question. In fact, I was really not interested in politics. But, you know,
What did you think you would be when you were studying as an adult?
Well, after engineering, I just wanted to do my master's in US. But then in the meantime, when I was in my final year, my father expired. I was the eldest. So I had to go back to my hometown. And there I suddenly found myself to be in a place where there was nothing else to do. And it so happened that there was a municipal election which had 8 wards. 3 were won by Jansangh, 3 by Congress and 2 were independent. So they couldn't decide on who would be the president. So they caught hold of me and made me the president unanimously. And thereon I started. But, you know, I have been more of a peace-loving kind.
Peace-loving. You're being ironic, right?
Yes.
You're being ironic.
Absolutely not ironic. It's a fact.
You're always picking a fight, contrary to what your friends describe you to be at Delhi College.
No, exactly. You see, I have fought for my credentials. I fought for my ideology.
But you're cheeky, you're irreverent, you're provocative. You say things that you know will grab the headlines. You're often in the headlines for all the wrong reasons. Who's going to believe that you're peace-loving?
Most of the time for the right reasons, but sometimes maybe for the wrong reason. But at the same time, I have stood by my ideological convictions. In 1970-71, Rajmata Scindia wanted me to join
the Jansangh.
Yes. And I was told to meet Kushabhau Thackeray and Kailash Sarang and went on a tour with these people. After a week, I suddenly realized that these people have some kind of a hatred towards the Muslims. And here in Delhi College, I had very close Muslim friends. Very, very close Muslim friends. We played games together, we studied together. And I suddenly found why this discrimination against Muslims.
And yet when you became Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh, you would be accused of running a soft Hindutva campaign, and we're going to get more into that. But first I want to talk about the present. Is this the toughest election that the Congress has ever fought? Is this tougher than 77?
I don't think so. 77 was quite bad. In fact, I remember 1977 Assembly was the first election I fought. And all my friends, my colleagues, and my family members said, don't fight this election because it's totally anti-Congress wave.
You won that election, but it was a watershed moment for the Congress's history.
Yes, but I said, if I have to be in politics, I must swim against the current. And I have always loved a challenge. Even in games, I loved a challenge. And in political life, I have always loved a challenge. That is why you sometimes call me that I make provocative statements. But
so is this the toughest election that the Congress has ever fought?
I don't think so. 77 was worse than this.
So this is not, according to you, going to be the worst ever performance of the Congress, as most polls suggest?
For the cow belt, for the North Indian belt.
For the North Indian belt,
because if you recollect, in South India, in Karnataka and Andhra Pradesh, we did exceedingly well, but not in Northern India. So that time it was a complete washout in UP and Madhya Pradesh and Rajasthan. This is not going to be so in this election.
So not the worst performance
ever.
It is
certainly not the worst.
But certainly one that you're going to lose. Be honest. You're a candid man. I know you to be honest.
Barkha, you people have been showing in 2004 also India Shining campaign that we will be rooted out and BJP NDA will come back with 300 seats and we form the government. In 2009 media, I don't know why media is so soft on BJP or the NDA. Pardon my saying so, but that remains a fact.
The BJP says exactly the opposite, by the way. The BJP says we're all against Mr. Modi, we're all soft on Rahul Gandhi.
That's
so that's
why Modi covers 99% of the space today in media.
That's because he talks more than Rahul Gandhi.
It's not.
It's true. It's true. Look at it. These young voters here are agreeing.
Yes, but what he's talking about, he has no clue of geography of this country. He says in Bihar, then Takshila is in Bihar. He has no clue of history. He says that Alexander was stopped at Ganga when he never crossed Satluj. He lies by the minute and by the second.
We will get into
1 second. Yeah. And he said Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel's funeral was not attended by Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. So we have to counter that. He speaks too much. Most of the time he's putting his foot in the mouth.
I'm merely making the point that the media gets slammed by both the Congress and the BJP, and if Mr. Modi is dominating the media narrative, the Congress also must reflect on why it is. Is it at least partly because of Rahul Gandhi's silence? Let's start taking questions and we'll delve into these issues later. Dolly Rohira, where are you?
Sir, you announced that you're keen to fight elections from Varanasi against the BJP Prime Ministerial candidate Mr. Narendra Modi. I want to know why were your words not materialized?
This is such an important question because you, said you love a challenge, right? You spoke about how you contested during the emergency when the going was tough. You were ready to take on Narendra Modi. Why did your party not allow you to do so?
Ask my party.
Were you disappointed? Well, and were you really ready? Were you really ready, or were you just being rhetorical?
The fact remains that no one from the party spoke to me.
Yes.
And suddenly I found in the media that I'm the front runner to be the Congress candidate.
Yeah, a number of Congress sources also told me that.
No, then check your sources, please.
So you're saying you were never the front runner?
I was never the front runner. No one approached me. No one asked me. So therefore, when media asked me, "Are you prepared to fight?" Of course, I said I'm prepared to fight. I love challenge.
But do you believe you've chosen your party has chosen the right candidate? Well, he is somebody the BJP says actually has mafia don links, underworld links.
Well, they forget that they chose him in 2003. BJP has a habit of a double talk. They are masters in double talk.
Are you disappointed that you're not contesting this time? Your 10-year sannyas has ended. It's ended with you being in the Rajya Sabha. Would you have got greater legitimacy were you contesting the Lok Sabha election?
Well, I offered. In fact, my leadership asked me. And I told them that if you want me to contest Lok Sabha, I didn't want to disturb my sitting member of parliament from my home constituency, Rajgarh, because he had defeated my brother that time. So I thought I should not disturb him. But I was prepared to contest any seat from any other part of the state. The only thing I said was that you have to relieve me of my duties as the General Secretary of the Congress Party because I have this charge of Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh and Goa.
Okay. So are you disappointed that that did not happen?
Well, in politics, one has to sort of take it as it comes.
I'm going to take another question on why we're not seeing you contesting, especially in Varanasi. Udit, where are you?
When Mr. Narendra Modi was selected from the Varanasi seat, official statement came by your side that if the party wants, I can stand against them in the elections. But sir, they give ticket to Mr. Ajay Rai, and soon after that, BJP statement came that Mr. Digvijaya Singh is not taken seriously by Congress. Sir, is it so?
Well, ask my party.
You mean it might be true?
I don't know.
You do know.
But
You're part of the committee. You are part of the committee that's supervising the strategy for these elections. Why aren't they listening to you?
Had the Congress party not taken me seriously, I wouldn't have been here today.
So why were you not able to push this idea through?
No, why should I? It's for the party to decide.
Do you agree with the choice of candidate in Banaras?
Among the locals, he's the best.
Who do you think? Do you think you would have had a better chance than him?
Well, it's too hypothetical.
But you were serious about contesting.
If asked to contest, I was ready.
Let's look at where the Congress campaign is today vis-a-vis the BJP campaign. It looks to people that the only card the Congress has left to play is what it calls the issue of secularism. You have Sonia Gandhi who has in the last lap of this campaign, because that's where we are now, suddenly taken center stage. Is that an acknowledgement as charged by the BJP that Rahul Gandhi leading the campaign is not working, that you've had to fall back on Sonia Gandhi? And you know, Arun Jaitley wrote a blog and he said, Congress ka slogan hota tha, main nahi hum. Now it should be main nahi mom. That Rahul Gandhi is acknowledging that he needs mom.
Well, let me tell you one thing. Events sort of propelled Mrs. Sonia Gandhi into a certain center stage of Indian politics. But she has conducted herself so admirably over the years. And not only that, she's been able to put the party together also.
Is she a better leader than Rahul Gandhi?
Certainly more experienced. And
do you think the campaign would have benefited at this crucial juncture by Sonia Gandhi leading it instead of Rahul Gandhi?
No, it's not. It was a considered decision of the Congress party that we have to now sort of come out and take up a person, sort of build up a person who can relate to the youth of this country. And we felt Rahul Gandhi would be able to do.
But is it fair to say that now that you see, suddenly you didn't see her this whole campaign really taking center stage, but with her televised appearance, you do see that. Is there an acknowledgement within the Congress that you need the Sonia, you need the Priyanka, because Rahul can't do it on his own?
No, it's not that. It's too premature to decide whether Rahul can do it or not. I would say you should wait for the elections. Of what little I have known Mr. Rahul Gandhi, he's a very intense, dedicated person who has been able to sort of perform.
If the Congress does,
whenever he has been given the task, for example,
that's not true. He led the assembly election campaign and the Congress did terribly.
Let me tell you, Mr. Narendra Modi, whenever he's been given a charge of a state, he has never won. That's the record of the Mr. Narendra Modi as General Secretary in charge of the BJP.
And how does that compare to Digvijaya Singh's record as General Secretary?
And my record has been that
UP you didn't do well.
One second. In every state where I have been in charge, my vote share of the Congress party has gone up. The number of seats have gone up, and I can prove it on every state.
Uttar Pradesh assembly election,
yes,
the UP assembly election.
My vote share went up by 4.5%, and the seats, of course, we increased from 22 to 29. That's not very much, but the fact remains that every state I have handled, we have delivered.
Okay, you have been on record at great length in an interview where you have said that the perception created by the dual power center of Manmohan Singh and Sonia Gandhi did not work well. That you said although Sonia Gandhi never interfered, in the perception of the public this was not a very smooth arrangement. Sanjay Baru seems to confirm this in his book. In fact, he goes so far as to say that actually Sonia Gandhi was the real power center. Now, Digvijay is saying going forward, whenever the Congress next has an opportunity to be in power, would you say that the person who's in charge of the party must also be in charge of the government?
Barkha, if you see my statement, I said the perception in this country was that there were two dual power centers.
Yes.
Number one, there was a Prime Minister.
Yes.
And there was the Congress President.
Yes.
And the Congress President was imposing her will on government decisions. Except for the...
But you acknowledge that was the perception. You acknowledge that,
yes,
right?
That perception was there in the media,
yes,
among the people and among the bureaucracy itself.
Yes.
But the fact is quite different. Except for the issues of pro-poor policies like right to information, right to education, right to food, etc. Mrs. Sonia Gandhi never interfered in the functioning or the appointments, key appointments of the government.
That's not what Dr. Baru argues.
Mr. Baru, Dr. Manmohan Singh's office has categorically said Mr. Sanjay Baru is lying.
Why would he lie?
You ask the Prime Minister's office.
Why would you lie? Why would you? Why would you? Why would you call somebody who has been a media advisor of your own government?
To me, it is a piece of fiction.
And how do you know that? He had a more inside track than you did.
In fact, you must also understand that Mr. Sanjay Baru left Dr. Manmohan Singh apprehending that in 2009 we won't form the government. And he took an assignment outside the country. This shows the character of the man.
But that doesn't have to do anything to do with what he's talking about. So you yourself have acknowledged that this dual caste arrangement was a problem.
When the Prime Minister himself has called him a liar, I don't have to say anything more.
But on the issue of the dual power arrangement, if the Congress has a chance to form the government, whenever next, would you say the person who runs the party should also run the government? You have said previously that you think Rahul Gandhi should have been part of the government. Maybe at some point he should be...
I've never said that.
You said he should have been Prime Minister.
No, yes, Prime Minister, but not part of the cabinet.
You're saying Rahul Gandhi should not have come in as a member of the cabinet. He should have actually been Prime Minister much earlier.
When the time comes. I didn't say that he should be replaced, that Dr. Manmohan Singh has to be replaced. But I do say that Mr. Rahul Gandhi has the potential of becoming a good Prime Minister.
Let me put it to you like this. Had Rahul Gandhi been Prime Minister, do you think the fate of the Congress today would have been different?
Well, can't say. In fact, if you see the track record of UPA 2, it has done exceedingly well on economic front, on agricultural front.
So why is Manmohan Singh invisible in this campaign? He's clearly been treated as a liability.
It's not correct. He's campaigned in Assam. He's going to campaign in Hyderabad on 24th. So
even you don't believe what you're saying.
No, that may be your perception.
No, I'm asking you a serious question. No, actually, I'm making a serious point. I'm making a serious point. The number of Congress people.
The fact remains, Dr. Manmohan Singh has never been a mass political person. He has been more of an economist. He has been more of a person from academics. And probably at that time, Mrs. Sonia Gandhi rightly felt also that we need a person to bring the economy on track and sort of a person who is non-controversial.
So you've been candid in admitting he's not a mass politician. So I ask you again, would the Congress worker, would the party cadre have benefited from having a Rahul Gandhi as Prime Minister coming into this campaign?
No, I don't think so. It is a matter of timing. In politics, timing is very important. So if Rahul Gandhi had become a Prime Minister at the fag end of UPA 2.
No, I'm talking about much earlier.
No, I don't think. He wanted to concentrate on the task which was given to him by the party. And he did perform. In fact, we have the only political party in this country which has got elected bodies of the students' wing and the youth wing in every assembly segment of this country.
Okay, let's take the next question. Ashish Kumar.
Sir, you have always dubbed Narendra Modi as a leader of hardcore communist ideology and BJP as a political party which takes advantage of Hindus. But recent events like Mrs. Sonia Gandhi visiting Shahi Imam show that Congress itself is now taking part in identity politics. So I want to ask that we as a democracy, when will you move ahead of this impediment of religious polarization?
This meeting with Imam Bukhari, how many of you, before Mr. Singh answers it, how many of you think that the Congress image and the Congress position on secularism has been hurt and weakened by this meeting between Sonia Gandhi and Imam Bukhari? Raise your hand. How many of you think it's been weakened? And that's a majority, sir, of hands going up. And you know what? I want to remind you of something you said in 2012 when the same Imam Bukhari had backed Samajwadi Party then. And I have this on record. You said this Shahi Imam is a person who represents communal politics. He has even defended Osama bin Laden. This person whom you called communal in 2012, what is your party president doing meeting him and seeking endorsements from him?
Barkha, let me remind you, this person, Imam Bukhari, issued a fatwa in favor of Atal Bihari Vajpayee in 2004. And I've always held him as highly communal.
And you stand by that?
I stand by that. If someone asks for an appointment to meet Mrs. Sonia Gandhi, so therefore she accepted that.
But then for him to come out later and make a statement saying that she has, reports suggested that she had said let the secular vote not be split.
Let me remind you. Yes. Congress party has fought these communal elements of the Hindus and Muslims even before independence. We fought the Muslim League and we fought the Hindu Mahasabha and the RSS. And post 1947, Congress is the only political party which has never aligned itself with any of the communal political groups, whether Hindus or Muslims.
So you stand by the fact that the Shahi Imam is a communal cleric?
I stand by that Shahi Imam Bukhari is highly communal political entity.
Yet you shared a stage with Maulana Tariq Raza, if you remember.
Maulana Taqir Raza.
Taqir Raza, I beg your pardon.
Taqir Raza is from a family of the eminent Sufi saint of Bareilly. And also, he supported us in 2009 elections.
But Taslima Nasreen says he was part of, issuing fatwas against her. So I'm just saying, the Congress
I'm really not sure about it. In fact, I have shared a stage where he condemned cow slaughter in this country. He said, according to the Islamic scriptures, cow slaughter is not allowed. He quoted from that.
I find it so interesting that you're bringing up cow slaughter, because I want to take you back to your tenure as Chief Minister.
Yes.
You wanted a ban on cow slaughter.
Yes.
You praised the medical benefits of cow urine. Many people said you were running a soft Hindutva campaign to counter Uma Bharti, and that didn't work. If cow slaughter and cow urine and these are things that are issues for you, then why call Narendra Modi communal when he talks about not wanting a pink revolution?
Barkha, let me tell you one thing.
Yes.
Cow slaughter was an issue with the Congress party even in 30s and 1930s and 40s. And there's a working committee resolution of that also. I have sincerely believed that the old district cows should not be left alone, and that is why I started a Gau Seva Ayog in Madhya Pradesh. So therefore, it is not soft Hindut or hard Hindut, whatever it is. The fact remains that the policies of Mahatma Gandhi, would you call it soft Hindut? It was not. We are
by the way, on Gandhi, some historians have argued that Gandhi's brand of secularism was more at ease with religion than Nehru.
Our Congress party has always respected religion. We are not an irreligious group.
So why do you call Mr. Modi or Mr. Amit Shah communal when they talk about pink revolution and green revolution?
Because two reasons. First of all, let me bring out a fact. The maximum number of cow slaughters were sanctioned during the NDA regime. And Mr. Narendra Modi has a habit of communalizing all election campaigns. If you see if you sort of analyze the election campaigns of Narendra Modi, he would say 80% of the time in the campaign, he would talk of development. In the last 20% of the campaign, he would talk of Mia Musharraf, Mia Kayani.
But that's not happened this time.
That's happened. What he's calling pink revolution. In fact, what is pink revolution? The maximum of cow slaughters have been sanctioned during the NDA regime.
But when you talk about cows, it's secular. When he talks about it, it's communal.
I'm coming to that. You see, another thing is now Giriraj Singh and Kailash Vijayvargiya has said that anyone who opposes Narendra Modi should go to Pakistan. Is this the kind of language
the BJP has condemned that statement?
Why don't they throw out Mr. Kailash Vijayvargiya, Giriraj Singh also because of this statement? Why they don't take action against him? Condemning is one thing. The whole idea is to communalize and polarize body politic of this country by making such statements.
Okay, let's take the next question. Sagar Sunana. Sagar.
Mr. Rahul Gandhi's attendance in the Lok Sabha is 43%, while Ms. Sonia Gandhi's is 47%. They have presented 0 private members' bills. They have taken part in 2 debates out of the hundreds that have taken place, and they have asked 0 questions since 2009. How do you expect us to vote for the Congress when 2 of its most important faces do not seem to take the country's issues seriously?
This is a very important question. You know why? Because Rahul Gandhi keeps talking about returning power to the parliament. But he's taken part in 2 debates, but he's not asked a single question. His attendance is pretty bad. When you compare it to his other young colleagues, people like Milind Deora or Sachin Pilot, they've done much better. Yet they'll never be the PM candidate. It'll always be Rahul Gandhi because dynasty hai.
Now, first of all, let me clarify to my young friend.
Yes.
That usually it is the opposition which is asking questions. And the last 10 years we've been in power. Number 2,
attendance could have been better.
No, if you see attendance of
when in a college, you know that bunkers are not appreciated.
No, I won't ask my young friend what was his attendance in classes also. But the fact remains that in Parliament attendance is usually 50 to 60% attendance is there. At the same time, the number of hours lost in any Parliament, The highest has been in the 15th Lok Sabha because of the attitude of the opposition.
So opposition disruptions you're talking about. Yes. But I think the real essence of the question is, has Rahul Gandhi become energized far too late for it to make a difference to the Congress? For example, we hear him speak now, we hear him being more proactive now, but for most of these years, he was silent. I want to put this to the audience. Those of you who believe that Rahul Gandhi was far too silent for far too long, raise your hand. Far too silent for far too long. Yes, in the check shirt there. What do you think?
He was not the one who was always in the front. There was always a padding behind him. I have always seen that. So Rahul Gandhi as a former Prime Minister is a kind of...
Future Prime Minister, not former yet.
Sorry, future Prime Minister is something thing I don't... I'm not able to digest it properly.
Now, Mr. Singh, you brought in...
When you talk of legislature business, just find out the record of attendance of Mr. Narendra Modi in Gujarat Assembly.
He's not silent.
He is silent in the Assembly, but more vocal outside. Please go through the records of Gujarat Assembly, how many times he has attended the Gujarat Assembly, number one, and also a track record, how many times he has thrown out the opposition from Gujarat Assembly. That's a record.
Do you accept that Sonia Gandhi, Manmohan Singh and Rahul Gandhi, this troika that ran the UPA effectively, was silent for far too long, that your communication strategy was a disaster, that in no other democracy in the world your top leaders not speak?
Well, that has been owned by the Manmohan Singh himself. The Prime Minister himself has owned up that we have not been able to project the good work that we have done, that he has accepted himself.
So you do think your party leadership should have been more communicative?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay, let's take the next question. Vinayak?
My question to you is that Robert Vadra has been accused of illegally grabbing lands in places like Haryana. Recently, we have also had articles in the Wall Street Journal stating his works and his education and all. But still, your party continues to be mum about this issue. Why is it so?
First of all, Robert Vadra is not a member of the Congress party.
But he's now an election issue. Narendra Modi, Arun Jaitley, Rajnath Singh are all referring to him.
Let me first complete. Law applies equally to every person. If any person violates law, action should be taken against him, no matter what he is. But the fact remains that there is no case against him as yet. On the contrary, the crusader against corruption, so-called crusader against corruption, Mr. Narendra Modi, has got a convicted Babubhai Bokadia in his cabinet. What does he talk of corruption?
But at the moment with him, the Supreme Court, if I'm not wrong, has acquitted Babubhai Bokadia in one case.
No. He's on bail.
Let's put it like this, Mr. Digvijaya.
And another thing, another Supreme Court order that FIR should be registered against another minister in Mr. Narendra Modi's cabinet. The government has not filed FIR against him.
But let me put it to you like this.
And he talks of corruption.
Let me put it to you like this. Rahul Gandhi now for many days in his speeches is mentioning the close links of Narendra Modi and Mr. Adani. He keeps talking about favors being given to one business house. The fact of the matter is Mr. Modi and the BJP is hitting back saying, first talk about political equity, that's the phrase Arun Jaitley used, that has been used by Robert Vadra, that is the BJP's allegation, wherein somebody who started with a little over 1 lakh rupees is worth more than 300 crores in 5 years. This is what the Wall Street Journal says.
Wall Street Journal is not the CAG of this country.
But there is
they should prove it through his income tax accounts.
But Mr. Singh,
his wealth accounts.
It is documented that he did take advances from a big industrial house, DLF, and DLF purchased that land back at a much higher rate subsequently. This we know. My question is this: does the Congress accept that Mr. Vadra has become something that has taken the allegation of corruption right to the family's doorstep? Because he is now part of Mr. Modi's every speech.
First of all, I contest the Wall Street Journal statement that his capital assets are more than 300 crores. I contest that.
Okay.
If he has violated any law, he will not be spared. If
the Congress says that?
Absolutely yes. No one can be spared. Mrs. Sonia Gandhi has been extremely sensitive to this cause. Number 3, the issue is if someone does a legal business and makes money. Now, for example, Mr. Adani's share prices, the average growth in the share prices of all of the companies in the last 2 years has been 17%, while proximity of this business house with Mr. Modi has resulted in the increase in the share price by 85%.
But again, if it's only an argument of legality, where is the law broken?
I'm coming to that. Mr. Narendra Modi symbolizes how natural resources and assets can be transferred in an apparent case of crony capitalism. A land which was given by Keshubhai Patel at a much higher price, the same adjoining land was given at 1/2 of the price to Mr. Adani by Mr. Narendra Modi.
But Arun Jaitley says that Robert Vadra symbolizes the misuse of power. You know, so you have to, when you talk about Adani, you will have to address the Vadra question as well. And when you say he's a private citizen, then why did all the Congress leaders line up to defend him?
Mr. Arun Jaitley is one of the leading lawyers of this country. Why has he not filed an FIR against Robert Vadra?
Are you daring him to do so?
Of course I'm daring him to do so. Let Mr. Arun Jaitley file an FIR. Who's stopping him?
Arun Jaitley says Mr. Vadra will neither be spared nor will there be a witch hunt. If he's done something wrong, he won't be spared.
Well, Mr. Arun Jaitley is a very smart lawyer.
So what are you
suggesting? The fact
suggesting?
remains that if he has violated a law, what has stopped BJP or Mr. Arun Jaitley to file an FIR against Mr. Robert Vadra?
What is the Congress response to the fact that Mr. Vadra and the Gandhi family is now a direct target of Narendra Modi? Do you think that this is a hit back for the fact that the Congress made a very low-level attack on Mr. Modi by actually getting into his marital status?
When
it is his personal life, when it was a child marriage.
It's not issue of a low-level attack. It is a question of a so-called prime ministerial candidate of the BJP. Why is he lying? He lied when he filed his forms in 2001.
How is he lying? He left the form blank.
No, that's lying.
Because he
that's
hiding
the information. He's hiding. He should say not applicable.
Is this an election issue, sir?
It is certainly. It is a question. It is a question of a person who is lying to the nation that he's a bachelor. The fact remains, in 2001, he filed his nomination, leaving that column blank. In 2002, 2007, 2012, again he left the column blank. In Who's Who of Gujarat Assembly, everyone's marital status is mentioned except himself.
Sir.
So the question is, why is he lying to the nation?
Sir, I want to ask you something. Indira Gandhi and Feroz Gandhi eventually separated. Nobody cared about, they lived apart. We don't know what the status of their marriage was. Nehru was linked with Edwina Mountbatten. Atal Bihari Vajpayee had an unconventional living arrangement. Are these election issues? Who cares?
No, I'm not questioning about Mr. Narendra Modi's relationships with anyone.
Yes.
But what I'm trying to say is, why is Narendra Modi lying to the nation? Why has he not filed his nomination
And I am asking you, is this the most important election issue before voters?
The matter is the person. The personality, a person who's lying on even a small issue of marital status.
So you don't regret? You don't think the Congress made a mistake?
No.
You don't think you lowered the level of discourse with this?
It is not that. We have to expose the liar and the lying capability of Mr. Narendra Modi.
You don't think
he's been lying off his cuff for last 2-3 years.
You don't think with this attack the Congress has lost the right to tell Mr. Modi don't personalize this campaign?
It's not that. It's not personal attack. It is a question of the man's credibility. A person who has been projected as the Prime Minister, he is lying to the nation of his marital status.
Okay, let's move on. Let's take the next question. Suman Udappa. Suman, where are you?
Sir, recently you have stated that Ms. Sushma Swaraj is a better BJP Prime Minister candidate than Narendra Modi. So, did you say this out of any intimacy for Sushma ji, or was
I have no intimacy with her, let me tell you.
But you know, kuch to hai, because she says you are better than Rahul Gandhi. You say she is better than Narendra Modi. What is this happening?
First of all, I must explain that I have no intimacy as such with Sushma.
No, I think what she meant.
Yes.
I think what she meant was, do you know her? Do you know her very well that you are saying this?
So actually, both of you hail from the same state. That's why I.
No, the point I'm trying to make is, Mrs. Sushma Swaraj is the leader of opposition, and the leader of opposition in any parliamentary democracy is the shadow prime minister. So she would have been a natural choice. Second, her origins are not from the RSS. Number two, she is not a hardliner. Although Atal Bihari Vajpayee wasn't from the RSS, he was not a hardliner, he's a moderate. And the acceptability of Mrs. Sushma Swaraj to the allies, earlier allies like Nitish Kumar.
But right now Modi is having no problem with allies.
No.
They've even in Andhra.
Which are the allies now?
Sir,
which are the allies, Barkha?
Even in Andhra, where you all staked everything to give Telangana, your TRS has ditched you.
Barkha, TRS had said they are going to merge their party with us. We have not. So nahi kiya.
Do you feel betrayed?
No. You see, in politics, we are always prepared for betrayals. This is a part of politics.
So it is a betrayal.
No, I'm not saying that. What I'm trying to say is, in politics, one has to accept these facts. But the fact remains that Mr. Nitish Kumar feels Mr. Narendra Modi is untouchable.
But Ramvilas Paswan is back.
Ramvilas Paswan there's another story. There's another story of Mr. Ramvilas Paswan which I would like to tell you here. But the fact remains that as far as Narendra Modi is concerned, he's certainly not acceptable to the majority of the regional parties who have had.
But they're not having an allies problem. It's the Congress that's having an allies problem.
We have no problem allies. The fact remains that Sushma Swaraj is a more moderate face of the BJP.
She says you will also be a better Prime Minister than Rahul Gandhi.
Well, thanks to her.
Huh?
Thank you.
But why can't any of you other than Rahul Gandhi have a bid at the top job?
You see, it's all a question of acceptability in the party.
You're saying your party doesn't like you?
No. The party has been kind enough to make me a chief minister twice. It's been kind enough to make me general secretary of the AIC for the last 10 years. So I have no complaints about the party.
Okay, let's take the next question. Siddharth Sharma. Siddharth Sharma, where are you?
With the party making it clear that Jyotiraj Scindia as its CM candidate for MP and your internal differences with the party leaders, what ambitions do you pursue being in Congress, and what future plans do you have, and is establishing your son and son-in-law in politics priority for you?
Well, every person has a right to be in politics, even you, son. The point remains that Mr. Jyotiraj Scindia is certainly a very bright young man who's got a great future. He speaks well.
But were you upset with the primacy given to him in this campaign? You also wrote a letter saying you didn't want to have a sane candidate selection.
Certainly not.
Those were the reports.
Certainly not. Since 2003, Barkha, I've been out of Madhya Pradesh politics, and I have purposely kept myself out of Madhya Pradesh politics.
Did you feel a bit sidelined in the assembly campaign?
No, because I had personally sidelined myself from Madhya Pradesh politics voluntarily 2003 onwards. And I have hardly toured the states because 10 years are very long years.
But your differences with Mr. Scindia are well known.
I had differences with Mr. Madharao Scindia, his father, but never. He's a young man. I don't pick up fights with my younger people. But the fact remains, he's almost like my son. So I did not.
What do you see as your future? His question was interesting.
My future.
What's the stage on which you see your future? Is it MP politics? Is it national
politics? I'm certainly not involved in MP politics. I'm in the organizational wing of the Congress party, and they have nominated me in the Rajya Sabha. So I've got 6 years till 2020. I'm in Rajya Sabha now.
Okay, I have to start ending, so we have time just for a few more questions. Mona Bhandari, where are you?
You've made a comeback by filing your nominations, right? You made a comeback now. But of late we see that Rahul Gandhi has been promoting youth into the Congress. What is his reaction to your decision this time?
Rajya Sabha is a house of elders. So
you're not old.
Yes. You see, man is as old as he feels.
That's why I'm saying you're not old.
I feel very young.
Exactly.
So, in fact, I fought 8 elections. So I must now move on, and I must allow the younger people to move in. So therefore, I thought if the party wanted me to contest Lok Sabha, I had no problem. But I am not coming back to state politics.
You're not coming back to state politics.
I was a chief minister for 10 years, 7 years Pradesh Congress president, 5 years as a minister. Let the new people come in.
Okay, talking about young people, there's been a growing clamour, not just in the Congress, but even among Congress voters. I've travelled extensively across UP. A number of them want Priyanka Gandhi Vadra to take a more active role. Now, she issued a very interesting statement to us. She said, Rahul wants me to contest. The decision to not do so is mine. What does the party feel? Because there was a very cryptic statement from Janardhan Dwivedi saying she was always the one more interested in politics. Even Rajiv Gandhi told me this. What did Mr. Dwivedi mean? Is the party losing faith in Rahul? Do you want Priyanka instead?
I never had the occasion to talk about Priyanka ji with Rajiv ji. So I really can't say on that.
Okay.
But it's a very personal decision. Why should a party impose itself?
But would you want to see her taking a bigger role?
Well, it entirely depends on her.
Okay, next question, Shivani Bhasin.
Sir, despite facing so much of flack from your own party for your foot and mouth remarks, you continue to stick to them, be it the Butler House encounter or RSS defamation. So do you intend to oppose your own party's take on these issues?
First of all, I have never put my foot in my mouth. Please be clear on that.
When you called Chidambaram intellectually arrogant, that was not foot in mouth. When you called Barkha House a fake encounter.
That's a very well considered statement.
So you stand by?
Which I stand by.
You are still calling Chidambaram intellectually arrogant?
One minute. This is between two friends. This is between two friends. This is between two friends, and I still hold him. I hold him still intellectually arrogant.
He's your friend, but he's intellectually arrogant.
Absolutely. There's
no regretting that statement.
There's no regretting
what did
the
Chidambaram
statement.
say to you after you made that statement?
Well, we've been friends for since 1985.
He's still your friend after you called him this?
You know, in friendship, we call even worse names. So therefore, I have never taken back my statement. And I still hold on to every statement that I have made.
So you still
I've never backtracked from any statement, Barkha.
So you still hold that Barkha House?
You'll stand by.
So let me remind you of some of your statements.
Yes.
You stand by Chidambaram being intellectually arrogant. You stand by Barkha House being fake despite the court verdict.
Yes.
Despite the court verdict.
You see, the fact remains that we had asked for a judicial inquiry. In an encounter, Barkha, how can anyone be shot on the top of the head?
This is a court verdict, sir. You have to accept the final word somewhere.
I've got a great regard for the judiciary.
Yes.
But in this, there are some issues which are facts. And in any encounter, Barkha, I have never seen anyone being shot all 5 bullets on the top of the head.
Okay, you stand by that very controversially. During 26/11, you suggested that Hemant Karkare was killed because of his investigating right-wing groups.
No. I've never said that.
This was not an attack
I've never said that,
you
Barkha.
did say that.
Barkha, I never said that. I've said that my first impression was that, but it was not correct. And Hemant Karkare...
So you were not correct in that?
No.
Your first impression was that?
So I never made that statement.
Okay.
Hemant Karkare spoke to me on the night of... in the evening of 26/11, saying that he's being targeted by the right-wing groups. They have called up his father and threatened him that we'll throw bombs at you. Then he was threatened by the Samna editorial.
But he was not killed by that. He was killed by terrorists who came in from Pakistan.
Agreed. But then these right-wing extremists were targeting him because he had caught the Sangh activists in terror, activity.
Was it responsible in the wake of a terror attack to link him to right-wing groups?
Again, I'm telling you, why did Mr. Advani, why did Mrs. Sushma Swaraj go and plead for those implicated, accused in terror activities to the Prime Minister?
Okay, we leave it there. You're not backtracking. I've got to end. Let's take it to the lady in the salwar kameez in the second row, please.
मैं समझती हूँ आप भी देश का विकास ही चाहते हैं। आम जनता त्रस्त हो गई है, महंगाई से परेशान है, गति जैसे रुक सी गई है और लगता है जैसे ये जो सरकार है कुछ करने में सक्षम नहीं है। यदि मान लीजिए कोई दूसरी पार्टी आती है और वो कुछ अच्छा करने में सक्षम होती है, तो वो आप समझते हैं कि चेंज होना चाहिए या नहीं?
डेमोक्रेसी का मतलब ही जनता की आवाज है, जनता को अधिकार है। तो इसलिए डेमोक्रेसी में किसी एक पार्टी का, एक व्यक्ति का एकाधिकार नहीं होता है। लेकिन इतना मैं आपको बता दूं कि महंगाई जो है, आज आज़ादी से लेकर आज तक कोई ऐसी सरकार नहीं आई जिसके समय महंगाई कम हुई है। महंगाई 2-3 कारणों से होती है। एक, इंटरनेशनल पेट्रोलियम प्राइसेस, नंबर 2 सप्लाई और डिमांड, और तीसरा एक्शन, स्ट्रॉन्ग एक्शन अगेंस्ट होर्डर्स एंड ब्लैक मार्केटर्स।
What about leadership paralysis?
There is no leadership paralysis.
Didn't the scams in a sense paralyze your government?
Now, Barkha, you have followed the 2G scam.
Yes.
Where was the scam? The scam was only allocation of 2G scam, which was hardly 200 to 400 crores.
No, it was subverting of the first come, first serve policy by A. Raja, which the government was aware of.
That's why he was punished. He was put in jail.
Much later.
But Bangaru Lakshman, caught red-handed accepting money, was not put into jail by the NDA government. So therefore, I think double standards of the BJP stands exposed. As far as the lady's other question goes, we have built up the economy of this country. We were 7th on the list in 2004 in all in the country ranking in the world. We are 3rd now. Our economy has grown from $600 billion to $2 trillion now. The other day, Mr. Obama said that we are jealous of the growth and the development of India.
Young lady here in the front row gets the last question.
So my question to you is, what is the backup of the Indian of the Congress if Rahul Gandhi loses the elections, God forbid, in Amethi?
It's not all that. I would say the issue is that he has never lost an election, but Even Mrs. Indira Gandhi lost the election. Mr. Sanjay Gandhi lost an election.
Yes.
So winning and losing election is a part of democracy. When you play, you must have played games on the fields of Delhi College. So you don't win every time.
Okay.
You sometimes win, you sometimes lose.
If you were a betting man, how many seats would you forecast for the Congress?
Well, I don't do betting.
Okay, you're a political analyst.
I do batting, not betting.
How many seats would you forecast for the Congress?
Well, I am not a cephalogist and I am not an astrologer and I don't believe in all this.
Digvijaya Singh, I'll give you one thing credit for. You take all questions, unlike many politicians. You don't at least censor questions.
You've known me, Barkha, for quite some time now.
Thank you so much for talking to us. Let's have a big round of applause for our guest.